I wanted to say a happy Wednesday to everybody, but I can't because 51 Christians have just been massacred in Plateau State. And then, no outrage, nothing, nobody's talking about their humanity and every other thing. And then also, we'll discuss the Sultan of Sokoto, Mohammed Saad Abubakar, his outrageous statements he made in a gathering of northern traditional rulers in Maiduguri, Borno State. That and many more to come. Welcome back to the Clever Report. Now, before I go into what I want to say, my opinion on the killings and everything. Firstly, I condemn killing. I condemn public lynching. I condemn jungle justice. When it happened at Uromi, Delta State, Edo State rather, when it happened there, I condemned it outrightly. I said, no, we can't say this precedence of just murdering people in the streets just because we don't like they are carrying guns or something. Yes, there is a valid argument to be made because of there is a precedence, reputations and patterns because of these people carrying AK-47, parading as hunters, but we don't know their real agenda. But still, I still fight for their rights to have their day in court or to be investigated. I don't want people to just take the laws into their hands. But this happens when government is not listening to the plights of their citizens. Now, 3 days ago, 51 Christians in this Holy Week were massacred in Plateau State. No outrage, nothing. Nobody's writing long threads on Twitter saying this is bad, this is sad. Ahmed Musa, the former captain of the Super Eagles, when this happened at Uromi, he was talking about the humanity that we need to come together. Everybody condemns the killing in a strong-worded messages. Strong-worded messages going about in the country. But somehow, when these Christians have been murdered and massacred in their sleep, massacred in their homes, butchered, 51 of them have been massacred. Nobody's saying anything about it. And then, somehow, you want us to live in peace and harmony and every other thing. Now, I want you to watch the clip of the news story from channels where they detailed what happened. It doesn't make any sense at all. But it's just one rule for the northern people, one rule for the Muslims, and another rule for Christians. When it happens to the Muslims, and this unfortunately, I hate loss of lives in both sides. When it happens, everybody gives strong-worded message. Everybody's talking about it. But the mainstream media is not even talking about these 51 Christians murdered in Holy Week. 51 Christians murdered by Islamist jihadists. But now, when people start taking laws into their hands, the government will call them terrorists, that they're not bearing arms and trying to defend themselves. It doesn't make any sense in a perfect world. In an ideal world, we want to live in peace and harmony. Christians are the number one persecuted numbers of people. But you don't see people, all these senators that are faking outrage when it happened to this, when the unfortunate incident happened to the alleged hunters at Uromi. Nobody said anything. All of them were, giving out press conferences, making videos and saying that they strongly condemn what happened to these hunters or alleged hunters, because people can still say that they are Fulani Herdsmen and they are coming to attack the village. But now I'm still giving benefit of that. But something happened. The actresses, the elites, nobody's talking about it. And then the Sultan of Sokoto, Mohammed Saad Abubakar, gave a statement in Borno, in Maiduguri, Borno State. So I want you to watch the clip, then I'll give you my take on that.
Country in this great state, and this greater states of the north, and I believe we are doing just that. So our coming together is to debunk any insinuation of the insecurity returning to Borno. Yes, there is insecurity in Borno, in some parts of Borno, it's okay. There is insecurity everywhere in the world, not only in Nigeria. But some of us that go around the world, we know more people are killed in some developed countries every day than the total amount of people killed in Nigeria in a month or in 2 months. So insecurity is everywhere. And the fact that there is insecurity, there are clashes here, there is killings here and there, should wake us up for us to take action on what do we do to stem the tide of this endless and merciless and madness that's going about killing innocent people. Now, I think it's important for us to work harder and talk to ourselves. And then the closing session will do that.
So from that clip, now you see the comparison that the Sultan is making, that the number of people killed in developed countries in a day is not even it's not up to the number of people killed in a month here. It doesn't make any sense. Are we now playing the game of numbers when it comes to human lives? Is that what we're not doing? That why come these elites and these traditional rulers and religious rulers, they only cherry pick and talk about the negatives in comparison with other developed countries? How come he's not talking about the energy generation sector in those countries? How come he's not talking about the freedom of speech? How come he's not talking about the freedom of expression? How come he's not talking about the free and fair election we have in these developed countries? But he's telling us that we shouldn't worry after all, that people that are killed in a day in those countries, that people that are killed in a month in Nigeria is not even up to par with the same number. How are we existing in a country that with people that think like this? And the problem is that the average Muslim will not criticize this man because he's the Sultan of Sokoto. He's a religious political figure. I don't give a crap about what he says. He's saying rubbish. In my own opinion, I think he's saying rubbish. And most people will agree with me that how can you make a comparison when it comes to human lives? And they cannot call out these jihadists, these fanatics, carrying out these attacks every day, killing innocent Christians. And these political, figures and entertainers and every other celebrities that were, outraged, fake outrage when the Uromi killing happened. No person is saying anything because it concerns Christians now. Nobody is saying anything. And the Sultan of Sokoto wants us to stay there and agree with him that number of people killed in a day in developed countries, that Nigeria is still catching up. So we are playing a game of numbers. This is the kind of country we are in now. And I pray for the happy repose of these souls murdered in the Holy Week. These Christians murdered in the Holy Week. I still pray for the happy repose of the souls of the alleged herdsmen or hunters that were killed gruesomely. I still bring it because I value human life. I value human life so much that I don't mind your religion, I don't mind your political affiliation. I don't want a loss of human life. So I pray for the happy repose of the souls, and I pray God gives the families of these victims fortitude to bear this loss. And that's all I'm going to say about that.